Hey YouTube, it's the Omega A31. Today I'm going to be bringing you the best Minecraft server setup tutorial. I'm going to be covering everything, so just stick with me and you'll be up and running in no time. So the first thing you need to do is download the Minecraft server.jar from Minecraft's main website. I'll have the link in the description. Although right now I tried going onto the website and for some reason it's down. I have no idea why, it just is right now. So what we need to do is create a new folder and we're going to call it server tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to have a link in the description where you can actually download this server, the Minecraft server jar, and I'm gonna give it to you guys in the link, so just click on it because like I said, for some reason it's not showing up in the website's not coming up. So what you need to do is, once you've downloaded the Minecraft server.jar, put it in your folder that you just created. I'm just calling my folder server tutorial because I'm not going to actually use it. I'm going to delete it once I'm done. Run the Minecraft server.jar file, let it generate all its files. That's what it's doing right now. It's generating these files right here. And once it's done, it'll say, well, you'll see. Give it a few seconds to do its thing. Okay, so there it is. It says right there, and already 4 people try to connect to my server, but unfortunately I gotta stop the server because this is a tutorial and I don't want them to mess it up. Sorry guys, but anyways, okay, so now what we need to do is make a batch file. I remember a lot of people asking me, oh, how do you make a batch file? What is it good for? Well, a batch file basically allows Java or Minecraft server to use more RAM, use different forms of garbage collection, and so forth and so forth. Utilize more threads on your CPU, which can enhance the performance of your server. So what I did was I created a new text document. You don't have to name it because we're going to delete it after we're done. And now there's several codes that you can use here. Depending on your operating system, okay, you can use one of 3 codes, and depending on which version of Java you're running. To check on which operating system you have, click on Start, right click on My Computer or Computer, go to Properties, and it'll say right here it's going to be the 32-bit or 64-bit. So once you've determined that, you're going to select the code that you want to use. These codes will be in the description, so just look for them there. Java 6 for 64-bit. So what you're going to want to do, since I'm using the 64-bit version, you're going to want to copy, alright? Copy that. And then you're going to want to paste it into here. So now it looks like that. You just copied and pasted. Click on File, Save As, and make sure you do this, otherwise it won't work. Where it says Save As Type, make sure it says All Files, and we're gonna call it run.bat. You don't have to call it run, you can call it whatever you want, but make sure you add the .bat to the end, otherwise it will not work. So go ahead and save, and you can close that out now, and there's the run batch file that we just created. And like I said, you can delete that new text document. We no longer need that. Okay, so now what we need to do is you can find out which versions of Java you're running. I have Java 6 Update 27 and Java 6 Update 27 64-bit. The 64-bit version is in program files, and the 32-bit, this one right here, is in program files x86. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do, if you're a 64-bit operating system user, you're going to have to do the following. click on Start, right click on Computer, go to Properties, and go to Advanced System Settings, go to Environment Variables. And I had done this before, but I'll just do it again because people have been saying, oh, I keep getting this error message saying path not specified or something like that. So what you want to do is click on path right here, make sure it's selected, and then click on edit. And right here, I've already done this code because I was getting the same error message until I figured out that the path wasn't specified. So what I had to do was tell my computer where Java is, and that's what you're doing right now. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna need to paste this whole string in right here. I'm gonna have it in the description, so just look there. It's gonna be called the path definer. So just where this semicolon is and the C and then the colon, that's where you're gonna want to paste the semicolon. Paste it. The start. It will be right here, right after this. What is that? A backslash, I guess it's called. That's where you're gonna paste this whole line of code right there, and you're gonna want to click OK. But since I've already done it, I'm just gonna exit out, and then you want to click OK again. But I've already done it. I'm gonna exit out. I don't want to mess anything up. It's working fine for me. And so now that you've told Java where to find your code, now you can use the run.bat file. However, I think that the run.bat file that I've made is actually a lot better than the one that I just showed you earlier. This one tells the system to use more processing threads. It tells it to use a bigger heap size for garbage collection. It's basically a lot better code. And I'll briefly go over this. This XMX is the maximum amount of RAM. 6144M means that's basically 6 gigabytes, because if you think about it, 1 gigabyte is 1024 megabytes. So you can do the math. 1024 times 6 is 6144. Use increments. Try to use increments of 1024 or 1 gigabyte. That seems to give you the best results. And then this one is the minimum, or is this one the minimum? I can't remember, but usually try to set these two numbers fairly close to each other. Probably with this one can be about 4 times greater than this one. So yeah, try to keep it like that. And then the oops, hold on. So let me show you one last thing in here, so you know. The freaking nail. Okay, so the parallel GC threads equals 4. That's the number of processing cores. So how many, depending on how many CPU cores your computer has, you know, just use that. So if you have a dual core, put in 2. If you have a quad core, put in 4, and so on and so on. And then I'm gonna have the code for that in the description as well, so you don't have to worry about all this stuff. I'm gonna have all the codes in there. And so yeah. And what else was I gonna say? Oh, for CraftBukkit people, once CraftBukkit actually gets released for 1.8, which it's not out yet, I just checked. You just go to Google and type in CraftBukkit, just like that, and see this main one right here, CraftBukkit forums. Just click that. This is the main website, and then you click on Get CraftBukkit, and this is basically where you get your CraftBukkit. There's a download here for noobs. This will have like all the files. You can look into that some more. I'm not going to go over this, but the one I usually get is this one for more advanced users, and It's basically just download the latest recommended build. So what you do is just download it, save it somewhere, and I'm gonna take off all that stuff. So it's just called CraftBukkit, and I'm gonna save it. It's downloading amazingly slow. Oh, and let me get this out of the way now. When you download the Minecraft server.jar, if you're having problems with that, if it downloads as a RAR file, all you need to do is I'll show you. I'll just pretend this is the Minecraft server.jar from the main Minecraft website. So, this is what it'll look like. That's what it'll look like if you just try to download it from Minecraft's main website. And if you download it like that and it comes out as a RAR file, all you got to do to fix that is just type in .jar at the bottom there. I mean at the end of Minecraft server. And then you would just click save, and then it would be saved as a jar file. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to close this out. And now for the craft buckets, what you need to do with that is basically the same thing that we did with the Minecraft server.jar. You just do the same exact thing. Nothing special really. It's you just run the craft bucket. It'll create all those files. You add your run.bat. And that's pretty much it. That's all you got to do for the craft bucket, and then you got to add the plugins. If you guys need help with plugins like permissions, adding plugins, configuring them, just if I get enough requests to do that, I'll go ahead and make videos on how to do all that stuff too. But this is just to get your Minecraft server going, and hopefully it's been helpful. Oh, and before I go, let me teach you how to port forward, because a lot of you guys are wondering about that. So what you need to do is press start and then type in CMD. This black box will appear right here. You type in ipconfig. I'm going to do this really quick because I don't have a whole bunch of time to be screwing around. So write down your default gateway or memorize it, and then write down your IPv4 address or memorize it. Okay, so once you've got that information, go ahead and type exit, and then you're going to want to go into I would use Internet Explorer. Don't use Firefox or Google Chrome. Sometimes those mess up, so just use Internet Explorer and type in your default gateway. Mine was 10.0.0.1. And you might have to log in. Some of them you can just click next or log in or submit, whatever it says, depending on your router, and it'll just fill in the information for you. Mine was actually admin, and sometimes your username is just admin, or sometimes it's password, and sometimes the password that you have to type in is either just password or So once you get that figured out, what you need to do is go to advanced, or not advanced, but yours might say, mine is under advanced, yours might say like virtual servers or servers or something like that. And what you do is you would create a new profile. So we have one right here. The type would be TCP and UDP. If you can't do both at once, then you'll just have to do it twice. One for TCP, then the second one for UDP. But what you need to do is port forward 25565, 25565 for the start and end port. Server IP is your IPv4 address. That's where you put your IPv4 address. Make sure it's active, and then you would click add server or save changes or whatever it says on yours. it's all different from each one to the other. Now if you're having trouble like trying to get into your router and stuff like that, you can check out this website. I'll have it listed in the description. Just type in Google portforward.com and you get this website right here. Go ahead and click it. So what you want to do is click on router list and find your router, right? So yeah, once you find your router, okay, so I have a Comcast router. You got to find out what your model number is. So look for your model number, and then you would click on it, and then click skip advertisement, and then you look for the application which you want to port forward. Come on, stupid internet, stop freezing up on me. You would be doing that right when I'm trying to do a tutorial. Okay, so yeah, so once you do that, you just click Minecraft server, and it gives you all the instructions you need on how to log in and your port forwarding instructions for your particular router, the model number, and all that stuff. So this is a very useful website, so I would recommend using it. And if you can't port forward for whatever reason, then you might have to use Hamachi, but that's a whole different thing, and I'm not going to do that in this video because I'm running out of time. So you got your server up and running, and now when you click in the server properties, you can edit it with Notepad++. I have a link in the description for Notepad++. It's a free download. And also, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Alright, so allow nether, we're going to go over through this briefly. View distance, we'll just leave it at 10. Spawn monsters, true. Online mode, you want to keep that true. If you set it to false, hacked clients can join you, or hacked accounts can join you. Difficulty, I set it to 2. I'm not sure what that exactly does yet, like how much harder it is. Game mode, 0 equals 0 is survival, 1 is creative. Spawn animals, true. Max players, you can set that to whatever you want, although keep in mind I would recommend 20 players for every 1 gigabyte or 1024 megabytes of RAM, so just keep that in mind. PvP, true. Level, seed, you can put in your seed, so when you generate your world it will generate that seed. Server port 25565. Now if you're gonna change that, make sure you port forward whatever you changed it to. So yeah, allow flight, pretty self-explanatory. Whitelist, message of the day, blah blah blah. So that is pretty much it, guys. I hope this has been helpful. I'm going to have everything in the description, so please look in the description before you PM me. And thank you so much for watching. Please thumbs up, please rate, comment, and please subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.